So let's begin. So I think we are still expecting some 2, 3 more people to join, but I think that's fine. So today I'd like to first of all thanks Amit ji and Spoorti ji for making out time from this busy schedule of yours. I really know how busy you guys are, but then taking out time is really thanks a lot. So Amit ji is a founder of Fluid Ventures, and he's been into investing for quite some time. And Spoorti ma'am represents Striker Capital, which is also a part of Let's Venture. So Amit ji and Spoorti ji, I have about 4, 5 people who have joined. I think we are expecting 2 more startups to join. Not much. This is going to be a very close discussion. The flow would be very simple. The startups would have their queries and concerns, if any, and then I think we can start the discussion. So Spoorti ma'am and Amit ji, I'll leave the floor to you. All yours.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Deepak ji, for inviting us. It is a great initiative where you are trying to bridge the gap between the investors and the startups. We'll be happy to answer the question. So I believe the process will be like that. The startups can unmute themselves and can start asking the question.
Thanks, Deepak ji. Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks, Spoorti ma'am. So I think the floor is open. You guys can unmute yourself and you can start discussing any topics, related to startup and fundraising, please. Yeah, Sumanji, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Deepak ji, for arranging this, and thanks, Spoorti and Amit, for your time. So in general question, I think I'll just do a ice breaking. So how's the VC market in general looking like? Because based on the macroeconomic situations and everything that going on all around the globe. So what do you guys in general feeling like?
Sure. So Suman, if you can introduce yourself as well, that will help us to understand more about you as well. And that is for everyone. Whenever you unmute yourself, we also would like to understand about you. So what
Sure,
you do.
Yeah. So I'm Suman. I'm one of the co-founder of a SaaS-based initiative that we have started 4 years back. Our company name is Swipe Touch. So basically, we 3 of our co-founders, we started it together, and it's a pandemic baby basically. So our first product that we started up was a school automation system. So basically for K-12 schools, and we provided a system which kind of provided them end-to-end solution. That was our first product, and then we are kind of venturing towards into the SaaS space, and now the more products we are bringing up, like HRMS, inventory management, hotel management. So all these are our product lineups. Right now, we started our operation from the eastern part of our country. Like we are mostly focused on tier 2, tier 3 cities, and we recently started in the tier 1 as well. So kind of we are catering to the Bharat, and that's how we are doing. Personally, I am having like 17 years of experience in the IT industry. Been part of many big and small organizations like Apple, Oracle, Disney. I'm based in Silicon Valley, but kind of traveling between US and India. Right now I'm in India. So
Excellent. Very good. So the quick answer to your question is that definitely there is a struggle in VC ecosystem. Funding is not as easily available as it was in 21, 22. Having said that, if you will look at the Series A onwards, there are lots of funding happening because the number of startups are there lesser as compared to the early stage. If we will talk about pre-seed and seed stage, definitely I personally feel whatever I'm looking around me, that there is a struggle. Companies are not getting as much funding as they require. And definitely everyone want to become part of the journey, like pre-IPO, Series B, Series A. So everyone is running behind that. So definitely there is struggle, but I believe that 2025 will open up because the valuation have been corrected a lot. If you will go back to B2B SaaS, and you mentioned about Silicon Valley, earlier the multiple were around 25, and in some cases we have seen 50x of the revenue as well. But nowadays it is somewhere between 8x to 12x at the max. So valuations have been corrected. So for VC, the deals have become very attractive. So 25 should be very good, similar to 21, 22. But we will not be able to see the same valuations again in the life. That's what is my estimate. But definitely funding will open up.
I think that the
So,
correction is
sorry. So to add on to what Amit said, right? So when we're looking at the deals right now, earlier it was more of like idea stage deals where they're going for more or less looking at the overall market sizing and the TAM, how aggressively the revenue might grow, keeping the TAM in the picture. But I think now we see the more or less leaning towards a stronger unit economics model. When you look at the Series A and above deals, they have achieved a certain significant amount of traction in terms of their revenue. They have got their MVP, the product market fit in the market, and then there is a strong unit economics that has been built. So most of the VCs are leaning towards that, because of which there has been a downturn in terms of the valuation numbers that we see. So currently, I think that is where the strength lies, and one of the key aspects for the startups to know, even when they are looking at it from an idea stage perspective, is to put it in a perspective of how strong your unit economics are going to be. How are you going to do the cost optimization in the kind of business that you are in, right? And what kind of scale? Like, even if you're looking at your market sizing, how are you doing the market sizing? Are you doing it on a very unconventional way, where you're taking a larger, like, just for the sake of it, you're taking the larger market size? Or are you doing the market sizing based on the revenue model that you're working with? Let's say your revenue model works with only the B2B segment. So what are the different other revenue models that you can explore around it, and how big the market can you approach? Like, let's say in the next 6 months, 6 months period of time, what is the target market, or the customer profiling that you're going to reach out to, and then how you're going to compute your SOM, not the overall TAM, right? So I think those are the certain things that is taken into picture. So any more on this? Happy to answer.
Thanks, Spoorti. Thanks, Amit. Sumanji, do you have any other questions?
yeah. One last question. That's a follow-up question on what
Yes,
I asked.
please.
So basically, how in this particular condition, what is the scope for the growing companies, or the companies who are like a early stage or kind of catching up? So since VCs are now, as you mentioned, Spurti, like now they're looking for more like the unit economics and all. So are they only looking for those where they are very, they don't want to take in a risky area or the muddy area, or they want to go only which is being stabilized? Like, what is the scope for?
So when you're looking at it, there is also some kind of competitor analysis that is being done, right? Let's say you are in the health tech space, for example. So in the health tech space, again, then we are looking at some of the legacy players that are there. Once they have got the tech adoption into the business that they are doing, what are the different kind of revenue models that they have built in, and how the growth has taken place in terms of the revenue, how they have scaled the business, what kind of cost optimization they were able to do by bringing in the tech in place, right? So these are some of the factors that would come into place.
Sure. Thank you.
So let me add to that, Suman. Basically, we are not saying that no one is investing at early stage. What does it mean? The interpretation is that if 6 out of 10 companies were getting funding in 2016 at seed stage, so now instead of 60 out of 100, 20 out of 100 are getting the funding. It means that because now there are 1,40,000 startups in India as per government record. So the probability of getting funding at early stage has been reduced. It doesn't mean that people are not getting funding. Means on the merit basis, definitely everyone is looking to invest, but definitely because the horizon has been increased, so that's how and valuation have been corrected. So that's how we have seen that the funding at earlier level are declining, while funding at later stage is increasing. So that is a trend only. Take an example of our own fund, real-time angel fund, where we are investing 2 companies every month. So it means 24 companies, and there are 100 such funds in India. So definitely, if you will look at 2,400 startups will get funding, but the total number of startups who will apply for the funding may be 25,000. So the percentage maybe looks a little odd, but definitely on the merit basis, everyone has a probability to get funding. और इसको मैं अपनी लैंग्वेज में कहूंगा, सपने बेचना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो गया है। जैसे अभी स्फूर्ति ने बताया कि नाउ पीपल आर फोकसिंग ऑन नंबर। पहले क्या होता था, इफ यू आर selling the dream, that was very easy. Now unit economy or all the numbers required to be there. तो थोड़ा सा सपने बेचने अभी मुश्किल है इंडिया के अंदर।
Thanks, Amit ji. Thanks, Spoorti ma'am. Suman ji, any other questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thanks, Suman. Umesh ji, would you have any questions? Or anyone, you can unmute and you can ask. Umesh ji, can you turn on the camera if possible?
Sorry?
Can you turn on the cam if possible?
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. Huh? Let me turn on my camera, then I'll speak. Huh?
Okay. So anyone else, Nitin, Srinivas, Manikanandan, you can, unmute and ask your questions.
Hello, Shaju sir. How are you? I see Mr. Shaju Stephen on the call.
You know Shaju ji, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, Space Tech.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think today anyone have any questions?
Good evening, Deepak sir.
Good evening, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Manikandan from Salem, from Ivory Girl Candy Company. We have a manufacturing unit in Salem, Tamil Nadu. We manufacture wafer biscuits packed in the shape of an umbrella, and we distribute across Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Andhra Pradesh. Now we are looking for venture capital funding to expand distribution. So what is the scope for venture capital funding in food manufacturing industry?
So if I have to take that, Amit ji, do you want to start first?
No, please go ahead. I will add.
Sure. So in terms of the food manufacturing, right? So again, like if I have to give you from the perspective of the fund that I'm working with, the Let's Venture fund, most of the times what we are looking at is how are we trying to cover the end-to-end services in any business with the technology adoption, right? Let's say now you have this a food manufacturing business. So in terms of your order management, to the delivery, to the supply, to the inventory management, how are you optimizing your business using the technology? Because again, data becomes very important, right? Whether it is the food industry or any other industry. When you are incorporating tech into your business, you also get an insight onto the data that is there, right? And how are your goods moving? How is your inventory management done? You get a lot of insights from that. So based on the insights, there is a course connection that happens within the business where you can do cost cutting. You can look at the other businesses, compare it, how there is a cost cutting that is being done. There is better management of wastages, better management of the the logistics, connecting with the different logistical partners and the delivery management. Everything goes extremely smooth, right? And so most of the VCs in the market, obviously, there are some players who are doing pretty well, but at the end of the day, a lot of people are doing a fast technology adoption, due to which they are able to gain more data insights, and then do the course correction in terms of their business and optimize that end-to-end solution in the business. I think that is one of the ways that can be that would help food manufacturing business to improve on in their numbers and also scale the business.
So do you expect offline sales or online sales only? Is that a problem to you or not an issue?
So omni-channel is something that is dear to most of the people. It is just that how are you handling the operations internally, right? Is that technology infused? And even if you're doing the offline and the online, obviously there is scope. In India, omni-channel is something that is majorly respected in terms of the startups that are there. And I
Okay.
think that, giving that clear differentiation in terms of your online and the offline sales would provide a lot of insights.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amitji, you would like to take it?
Yeah, I have more questions around that. So what is your entire go-to-market strategy?
So we have the traditional distribution model, sir.
Okay. And are you owning your own factories or is it third-party manufacturing?
No, it is our own factory, sir. It's our own manufacturing factory located in Salem, sir. We started off in 2017.
Yeah. So I will strongly suggest that don't waste your time on the VCs. To be very honest, you are a business because it will be very difficult to find out the IP out of this business. So mostly what VCs want to see, they want to see the intellectual property out of the business. Take an example. Intellectual
Okay.
property can be trademark as well. So the brand communication for what it is being communicated to the customer. There are many players in your own sectors itself, like Eat Butter, the name coming to top of my mind, where they link themselves as a healthy snacking company. Take an example. So if Mamaearth, take an example, so that brand has been created around that. There is nothing like that the consumer company can't be a startup. They can't be a company which can't raise from the VC. But if you are going to the VC, you will have to understand that the appetite of VCs is not as much as you will require. And more than that, the timelines which VCs look for an exit is very less. So we typically look for an exit between 7 to 8 years, maximum 10 years sometimes. Means so we don't provide patience capital to the companies. So in your business, I believe you have a fundamental business. You must not have losses as on date. I'm assuming means you don't have to spend money on the brand, etc., etc. So
Correct.
if you will go to the family offices or any other mode of financing, that will be better for you, unless and until you want to spend lots of money on the brands first. And I'm sure
Okay.
you must be understanding. There is a entire case study that how the Mamaearth was created against Johnson and Johnson's, then how they went for the
Right.
VCs, then how they came for the IPO. So if you have something story like that where you can become market leader for a particular category of items, then only you should treat yourself as a startup. If you are one of the 10 players who are providing the same kind of biscuits, and the retailers have option, whatever margins you are giving, based on your margins only they are selling your goods. So you should not take the route of the startups, because in
Okay.
your
Okay.
industry it is very clear, if you will give more margins to the distributor and retailer, they will keep your inventory at the front end. If you will give less margins, they will keep your inventory at back end.
No, we
That's
have
how
crossed that stage, sir. We don't play that game of rates. We have a brand and we have a distribution channel, proper distribution channel.
also
In order to
I
increase the channel, we need the VC. We need
what was your sale for last financial year?
so 15 lakhs per month, sir. Per
15
month.
lakhs. But still it is very early to say. Means definitely you have crossed that stage. Means to be very honest, I don't treat any brand as a brand unless and until there is a 25 crore ARR.
Okay. Okay. Understood, sir. Understood.
15-20 lakh,
So you
you will
mentioned
understand.
about family VC. What do you mean by family VC, sir?
No, I said family offices.
Family offices. Okay. Okay.
Deepak ji can take another
I
session
will
where
explain
he
you
can
that Manikandanji on a different discussion. So now, if you have anything other questions to Amitji and Spoorti ji, we will take it. I'll explain you what
No,
a
sir.
family
Not
office.
specifically, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
I think I got my question cleared. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks. Umesh ji, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deepak ji, for giving me opportunity to discuss about OPD Shore. So I just want to introduce myself first. So before this, I was a banker for almost 18 years in India, and post my banking stint, I've been to UK for understanding about the entrepreneurship. So we are building OPD Shore, and OPD Shore is a platform which is catering the outpatient services to our subscribers. So our objective is to make affordable, easily affordable, and accessible of top doctors to anybody in the country. So if you're my subscriber, you can go and visit any doctor in the country without having a network, problems. So we are not focusing on making a network because that is required a huge cost. So we are making a tech platform which is, helping our subscriber to access the top doctor in the country as per their plan limits. So initially, we have tested the market, and we have gained the experience of our users and what is their, experience, how they are going to use our OPD services. Because we are trying to building a something new product in India which is catering the access to doctors, because insurance covers the IPD benefit, which is not still having a big problem because it is out of pocket expenses for the people, and especially the employees who are a middle class people and working in an organization having a earning of 5 lakhs to 15 lakhs. So we are building a employee health and wellness program where we are focusing on the preventive healthcare and providing multiple access of doctor of various categories, which is not capped to any specialized, and we are covering allopathy, homeopathy, ayurveda, unani, all kind of consultations in our subscription. So it is a health and wellness program for the corporates, for their employees, so that they can take a preventive step for their health, for a better, future when they turn 35, 40. So they should be healthy that period of time, which is a major concern these days. People are getting a lot of major health issues at the age of 35, 40, especially the people who are working in a corporate.
So, Umesh, so in terms of the preventive healthcare or the OPD section that you just mentioned, where you're connecting with the doctors, right? So directly. So how does that work? So let's say, suppose,
So
I consult
yeah,
a doctor in Bangalore. So
yeah.
I can just, is there a particular have you categorized it in terms of what kind of ailments that is it just for the general physician, or is it for the surgeon, or that kind of categorization has been done?
Yeah, so there's no categorization as of now. So we are covering all specialties, either it's allopathy or homeopathy or any other specialty doctors you want to consult. You can go to any clinic or any hospital for consultation. So here, right now, for retail customer, it is a complete claim process which we have set up to them. So they have to upload their bills, and we are reimbursing those bills as per their plan limit. And for the corporates, we are launching our health card, which is powered by Pine Labs, and it's a RuPay card, chip-based health card, which is work like a debit card. So we are loading money from the backend, and user can go and visit any clinic and hospital for making the consultation fees over the counter. And after they consult, they have to upload their doctor prescription and their OPD bills, so that we can verify that the amount has been utilized at the right place, and we are going to reimburse if there's a reimbursement in that plan which they have purchased. So through the health card, we are providing the access to the top doctors in the country.
And what will be your revenue model here? What kind of revenue model do we have in place?
Sorry, can't hear you.
What is the kind of revenue model do we have in place?
Sorry, I miss your voice. Can you just repeat again, please?
He's asking for the revenue model. What is your revenue model?
So here, initially we are catering our services to corporate. So here we are covering, we are working on an insurance model where we are pulling the money from the users, and whatever claims are coming, they are going to, have the benefit, and whatever is the remaining amount, that is going to be our revenue. So unclaimed amount is our first revenue. And once the customer is on board, then we have a plan to offer other services like, if any OPD patient required further IPD. So we are going to make revenue from the reference from the doctor and clinic if there is a further treatment. And also we have a plan to introduce some unique healthcare products for our customers on our platform. So where we are also going to make revenue. Also, we want to introduce the insurance health, especially the health insurance benefit to our existing base, so that they'll understand the importance of the health insurance also in their life. So
So
these are the
is
products.
there any revenue that has been achieved now? Like, what's your monthly revenue?
So we have, just tested the water, and we have run a pilot project where we have acquired about close to 400 subscribers, mix of retail and B2B, where we have garnered a revenue of close to 15 lakh rupees. And in that, the burning is about to 3 to 4 lakh rupees in last 8 months. So we are going to complete the cycle of 12 months. So we are expecting here the revenue is going to be close to 60% gross margin.
Got it. One of the things that I can tell you, Umesh, is to actually look at the overall health tech as a segment, right? Do more studying in terms of what other services that is being provided, especially what other um, revolutions or other kind of services that has come into place, especially when we are looking at tech. One of the health tech ones that has worked so far is the diagnostics ones, right? That has worked exceptionally well in the market, where the adoption rate has been tremendous, because of course there is a clear problem solving that is being done, because a lot of people cannot go for blood tests to the center and get the reports and all of that, right? When we are deviating from that and looking for something different, there has to be a clear understanding on what is exactly the problem that you're solving, right? And how are you driving the revenue of it? Like, probably do a little bit of more insightful market study, read some more reports in terms of the other healthcare reports, and look at the problem statements and all of that. I think that is something that has to go deeper in terms of understanding how you can set the insurance and all of that. A lot of people are already doing it. It's a crowded market, and the other things that you mentioned, also a lot of other people are also doing it in terms of tech. But what will be your moat is something that you will have to define over here among all the other players that are there in the market. Anything more than that, I think Amit ji would be better to guide you.
No, no, you have covered all the points. In case you have a specific question, Umesh, where you are struggling, we'll be happy to answer them.
Uh, so right now, we have already done the angel rounds, and we have already created a good pipeline of close to 70, 80 crores of business for B2B. So now our focus is completely B2B, B2C, where we are offering our services to corporates for their employees. So the major problem which we are facing is the trust, because being a new entity in the market, and asking for these kind of coverage under one roof. So trust is one of the biggest issue which we are facing. People are liking our services, and the customer who are using our services, they are giving a good rating. So this is one, it's like a chicken egg story. We are not
No, no,
able
trust
to.
will definitely be built over the time. It will
Yeah.
not be a one day story. Once you will start entering into the market, definitely it will be word of mouth as well. You can engage some influencers to talk about your services. You can motivate or promote some campaign to ask your existing customer to put a good word on the social media. That's how you will create a trust. So trust is not a easy task.
Yeah.
Everyone will have it will take its own time, but that is the only way to create
Yeah.
the brand.
Thanks, Amit ji. I have Srinivas ji, who has the question. Srinivas, please unmute and talk, please.
Yeah, I'm Srinivas. I'm founder and CEO of Red Green Blue. We are a health tech company. So we built remote access technologies for diagnostic imaging equipment. So using this technology, you could access remotely the MRI or CT machines or any imaging equipment. We also have operations around this. We provide radiographers as a service. Diagnostic chains could use this service to remotely let technicians or radiographers access the MRI CT machine and configure the MRI machines for the scans, right? So this concept is very new in India or be it the world. So recently there was a major event in North America where a lot of companies showed up this remote scanning solutions, right? Uh, we also have services apart from this product, but we do not have any customers per se in India, right? Although we have good connects and traction from US, but India market doesn't look like it is penetratable easily, right? So what do you think about this exploring this technology in India?
This question is for Amit Ji Srinivas.
Yes, yes. I mean, whoever
No,
wants to answer.
So anyone can answer that. Definitely, as you mentioned, that this is a very niche technology. So definitely, you should try for that. And VCs like us, we always prefer to have such opportunities which are very niche. And you will see that lots of new investors are coming in the space of deep tech and space tech and the technology which we have not heard before. And now lots of funding has happening there. Take an example. Recently, I invested in a company called ePlane, where we are assuming that some plane flying car will work in 2026 or maybe in near future. Same with Galaxy I. So definitely it is looks like a very good idea, but we will have to go into the detail and we'll have to check how it's look like. But if I will ask you that out of the entire project, how much indigenous product you are using as of now in this area? Sometimes
So
it is just like assembling of various equipment in India. So it is really a indigenous product or it is just similar to assembling.
software is indigenous and hardware is little bit of indigenous and as I could say 20% is innovation, 80% it's got from the open source, right?
Okay. So is there will there be any possibility to create convert this into indigenous maybe 3 years down the line or somewhere?
Yes, 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 yes.
That is possible. No, that is
Yeah.
then good idea because there is lots of focus from the government side as well to make the indigenous product to reduce the import bill. So if that will be possible,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we are already on path for Make in India registration, so that we could do. I mean,
so
we
please
already have
focus on
plans of
that.
that.
So if you will go with that route, that will be really useful, and government will also support you a lot in that entire journey.
Amit Ji, just to add, I'm supporting Srinivas Ji on this, helping to build a proper a presentation and proper story around this, including how he's going to make the revenues, because like Spoorti said, it's all about numbers, how you're going to scale up. So we are in a very early stage discussion on it. So I'm helping Srinivas on that. Srinivas, do you have any further questions?
Yeah, and whenever you are ready with the presentation, feel free to send it to me. We'll be happy to give my inputs on that from the investor perspective.
Definitely. Srinivas Ji, you can have any other questions, please continue.
No, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, so I have with me Mr. Anantaji. Anantaji and me, we are the co-founders in a company called Transit Terminal. So I'm one of the co-founders. So this company is the brainchild of Anantaji. Anantaji, I would like to explain your company. And Amitji, this has been shared to you earlier, and he said, next round we will take this further. So Anant, all yours.
Hi everyone. This side Ananta Rai here, founder of Transit Terminal. We are building a freight management platform where we are actually solving the problem where the logistics companies are facing, not just in India or not just a single logistics company. It's a global, mess up which is already there. So we're trying to build a technology, a software where the customers, the logistics companies can avail the rates from different carriers. They can maintain their documentation, which will be automated, of course, and the live tracking of the cargo. Where I want to stress on this live tracking part because Amit and Spoorti, the point is uh, those top 15 companies in the world, top 15 shipping companies in the world, they provide the live tracking. That's true. And the rest of the non-vessel operators, they don't have any live tracking technology as of now. So once you give your cargo to that particular company, you are completely into dark unless and until your cargo reach the next country. And the fourth part is the payment part, payment, invoicing, and freight credit. That is, we want to come up with this particular structure where we need to help logistics companies in paying the freight also. So this is what in the basic stage we're in the making of MVP, and we are trying to solve it in a way where the input has to be very, very particular. We don't want to bombard the customers in the market with lot of graphs, lot of knowledgeable accents. They don't need it. They need, boss, we need to go to your platform. We need to give those particular inputs, and we need those rates in front of us. It has a lot of reason in creating this particular platform. The need of this particular demand is quite high. People are working in 4 time zones, basically, if we calculate in shipping, in logistics part. If for example, my customer is facing right now as we speak. So if he need a freight from India to US, he has to hold till tomorrow morning, where he has to close. The receiver over there, they're asking, boss, I need to close it within 1 hour time, or else don't show me your face. So there is where a lot of customers are losing their business. So we are trying to ensure that any freight that is required by any customer, we're starting from India. Let's talk about India itself. That freight has to be handy on their desktop or on their palm top or on mobile, so that they won't lose onto the customers, they won't lose onto the importers and exporters. So this is what we are in making. And yes, of course, like Deepak sir is my co-founder, so on numbers part, he's helping me a lot where I'm not good at it. And on the operations part and on the business part, dhanda aata hai mere ko. So we have been doing this. I've been doing this from past 18 plus years, but the knock actually happened during the COVID time when we lost a lot of things just because the automation was not there, and we're not able to track a lot of things. The ship vanished, the cargo vanished, a lot of people vanished in that particular time frame. So this is what we are not supposed to, give this worst experience to good customers. So this is what we're trying to build. That's all from my end.
No, very good, Anita. By any chance, is Cargo FL is your competitor? I am sure that is not a competitor. They are providing similar services, but in a different way.
Amit sir, you are asking me the secret sauce actually. Okay, let me put it across this way.
Otherwise, we can talk offline as well to save others' time as well, because we are investing in Cargo FL. That's why I asked this question. No worries, we can take this question offline.
No problem. So actually, see, as I told you, top 15 players in ocean, let's keep it apart. I don't consider even them, even their freight. The main point is, the dark spot which we have identified in past 18 years, no one is able to build an automation platform for those NVOCC. Okay, I don't want to put across the jargons. These are those players who have their own containers, but they don't have their own ships. So they have to load onto the different feeder vessels or different ship owners, and they do the business over there. The database of this particular NUCC is more than 17 lakhs companies and counting. And the number of containers with those NUCC is more than 100 million units as of now. So I have no idea why, like the companies like Transworld, Goodrich, they are like billionaires, but they are actually they're striving for technology. And we have already managed to get hold of 10 NUCCs. I mean, they're just awaiting for our product to launch. And they are basically the end suppliers, and we'll be giving the product to the end users. So that is the part where we want to make it really fast, really agile, and it has to be accurate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Spoorti ma'am, you have any questions?
So, in terms of the overall transport management system that you're building, what stage is it at the moment? And how many, like you said, that obviously you do not own the, the containers and everything. So you would again, connect with the people who would own the containers and everything, right? So we do have other companies like ShipPocket and all of these guys who are trying to bring in that tech and trying to handle the entire, transportation management system where there is connection between the MSMEs and the containers and the, overall logistics part of it. So what exactly is, you're building in terms of, optimizing this entire end-to-end solution, right? When it comes to logistics.
Okay, ma'am. That's a great question, actually. Ma'am, I hope you belong from Bangalore, right? So, yeah. So we do have a port in New Mangalore Port. We say it is New Mangalore Port, and we load a lot of coconuts from there. At this point of time, I would like to say, I'd like to stress more on this. We are not digital freight forwarders. We're creating an ecosystem where we will make the end suppliers meet the end users. So, constraining that time limit, I'll give you a small example how we are different. NUCCs, for example, they have an import to New Mangalore Port and they have 10 containers over there. They can move those 10 containers to Dubai. Me being an exporter, I need 10 containers from Mangalore Port, but I don't know who all have those 10 containers in Mangalore Port. So that bridge, that gap, that dark spot is too big, man. I'm just talking about a small, example. I'm just giving an example. So if we are able to bring in those informations that the customers will have handy once they put across the a small data like Mangalore to Jebel Ali, I need 10 containers and submit, they will see that okay, this company is having 10 containers in Mangalore.
Yeah.
So the half of the the hustle which happens between different systems and the time it takes to get the data, at least 48 hours, not less than 48 hours. So it will bring down to a minute.
Like a small community, is it?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
You're creating like a small community where, people have that access to where they can find the containers, how they can get their products delivered, shipped, and how they can track that entire shipment until it reaches the end user. So basically that's what you're building, right?
Yes, ma'am. We're basically creating, one of the, we have an aim to create one of the largest marketplace. That's true.
So basically you're trying to create a marketplace mainly for the MSMEs to reach out to the containers, right? But then
MSME logistics companies, yes, correct.
I just wanted to understand this end-to-end logistics that you would have to provide from when you say end user, right? So what kind of end user are we looking at? Is it like the first week?
For any shipping company, Spoorti, for any shipping company who pay the freight for that particular container is the end user. It doesn't matter the company is a logistics company or an exporter or an importer. The person who pay that freight to that shipping company is the end user for that particular supplier.
Got it. But then again, I was trying to get into the differentiation of the, services that you're providing. Yeah. But then you said that you're not digitizing it, right? So then how does the overall tracking system that you're trying to build in, right, within the company?
digitizing it. We are digitizing it. We are at a verge of completion of our MVP, ma'am. So it will take like 10 to 12 days time to complete the MVP, so that you can understand exactly how the technology will meet will make a triangle between the demand, the end user, the suppliers and the users. So we are bringing into a very simple platform we are making actually.
So when you're building this MVP, we have to also, I think, one of the things that I can suggest is that instead of just connecting them to the suppliers who can provide the cargo and the supply of the goods, also looking at what kind of suppliers, right, in terms of what is the kind of containers that that they are providing, like making it more customizable to your particular client, taking it from the size to how much, like whatever is the measurement that you're taking in terms of what kind of products that they're trying to ship. That is one thing. And also the quality of those shipments, like checking the quality before it actually goes to the overall shipment process. I think these are some of the things that you could explore in terms of customizing it to your clients and making it more like a personalized kind of a support. I think that is where I think you can bring in the value, because if you're just connecting them to these cargo players or different cargo players, anybody can come and do that. But apart from that, what are the customization, the personalization services that you're going to provide your clients is something that would stand out, is what I think.
You are completely, you are hitting the bingo actually. If you go to our website right now, we just kept, in a very simple format actually to understand for the investors, for the customers, exactly what we are building. If we click on that particular type of container, you will get that list. What kind of containers we provide. And the thing which you said, like the dimensions, the measurement, what we do, okay, that is the future, development that we will be doing. That is called as project cargoes actually. So there is where the dimensions and measurements will come into play.
Then I think you just have to explore the geographical, expansion part of it, and then see how you can actually add more people into this and provide, more personalized services onto this. I think that is
Right.
where I think you can just start and achieve that MVP, get that product market fit, and then start with the scaling of the business.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll do that.
Thanks, Spoorti ma'am. Thanks, Anant. So we have Nitin and Azmat. Would you guys have any questions? Please, unmute and you can ask.
Yeah. Namaste everyone. I am Nitin Bhushan KN. So basically from Baswangudi, Bangalore. First of all, I would like to thank Deepak for giving an opportunity to join. So I have 5+ years of experience. So currently I'm working in Malaysia as a senior consultant for product development. So my questions is like, I am like a tech enthusiastic, as Spoorti mentioned. I was just listening to the conversation over here. So technology and optimization is the one which goes hand in hand. So that is where most of the organizations will do digital transformation and all those things. So being a technology and a business enthusiastic, like I help couple of startups. So I also have kind of to start something. So in terms of augmented reality, connecting with tourism. So how is the growth wise, and how is like a venture wise, like how people can adapt easily? That is one question. The second thing is on the edtech, like how can we do a customization education for kids, because technology is one as it's booming. So we can do a customization learning for kind of grade 12 or grade 10. So that is the another set of question, like two startups. So that's what I wanted to know.
Do you want to take that?
So, Nitin, definitely, if we can have a detailed discussion around the idea, that will be more useful, because
Yeah.
it will be very difficult for us to tell, because there are, as Spoorti mentioned in beginning, there are various parameters involved. What will be your
Yes.
target customer? What will be your go-to-market strategy? How big is the market? How you will tackle that? What will be the unit economic? So every idea looks very interesting when we start, But once we
Yes.
reach at a unit economy level or finance level, then we realize that no, it
Yeah.
is not a startup idea.
That
It's
is the
like a
reason
business
I'm
only.
planning to play with the data first. Like, what is the market? Like, what is
And
the
I, and
market?
I believe Deepakji has great expertise in the data. So if you can create a business plan around that with the help of Deepakji, then definitely we can look at it and then can give our comments. Otherwise, looks like interesting. Means you should definitely start something. It's
Yeah.
always like that. Once you enter into that, then only you start learning. Otherwise, it's not solving any problem if you are on the fence.
So, being a frequent traveler and I love to talk to people around here, so I can understand what is the amount is spent and how they are like itinerary or like doing a planning with the tourism. So they are not covering most of the places. So I got to know what's the problem statement and what is the pain points over there. So how to bridge that is what I was thinking. So
Absolutely. So start with the survey, do a survey around that, ask 1,000 of people to fill that survey. And based on that, you will come to know how many points are relevant there out of the problem statement, how many are irrelevant. And sometimes the problem statement exists, but the solution is not feasible at all. So that's how you will have to do a solution as well and prioritize the things that which can be done earlier and which can be deferred for the phase 2.
okay, sure. Thanks.
Spoorti, you like to add?
I think Amitji has covered most of it. And in terms of the space that you're working in, I think probably you can just optimize the data, like look at it, train the data, see what more explorations or innovations that you can do once you've trained the data, and then bring in some kind of solution after that is what I would say. But then I think a lot of in terms of edtech, if I have to tell you, you can also look up this company called Banzu, which is majorly focused
Sorry,
on
I couldn't hear that. Yeah.
the company called Banzu.
Okay.
So they are majorly focused on mathematics learning, but then again, they're not, their client base is not majorly in India, but they're US based, but they have created a module that is completely different and much better than the like the legacy player like Kumon. Kumon is one more mathematics player that is there in the market. That is a Japanese based company that was doing really well in US. When Banzu came in, a lot of people shifted from that company. Like a lot of clients, a lot of kids shifted from that, and they started using Banzu. So you could just read some of these case studies and understand what kind of differentiation that they have brought, and bridge the gap for people to use it, especially in terms of the edtech as well.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thanks. I think we have covered the most. So if anyone have any questions, I think you can unmute, and ask. Else, I think we'll end this call. Sumanji, Srinivas, Umesh, anyone? Akib, sorry, Akib.
Yeah, I have a very small question. I think we are almost to time, so I'll just not take longer. So sometimes, it's very difficult, like a very typical VC question is like, what is the moat? And, if your moat is like you need not to be, the solution is always, out of the box, or you are not doing something really extraordinary or that nobody has done. But if you have achieved something with, with good amount of optimization, or how to run the machinery, um, isn't that would be a good answer to explain to the VC, or always you need to find something which is nobody have done before? So any take on that?
So let me take it fast. First of all, it's not like that VC is asking this question. That's why it is relevant. Being a founder, I believe first of all these questions are very relevant for ourselves. So if I am starting something and I am really thinking to make a unicorn, definitely unless and until there will be more or any question which VC is asked, uh, that will not help you to start a business. That will waste your time at the last, because the thing which you want to achieve, that will not be possible. So VCs ask mostly those questions which are relevant from the founder side. So all the questions I believe is relevant for you. And I strongly recommend that in case you don't find any more, you can't become the market leader, you just become a part of the crowded space, you should not start that idea at all, considering the startup idea. There is no harm in starting any MSM in India. There is no harm in starting any business in India. You can start any service business. But if you are thinking that I am going to create a startup of India, definitely these questions are very relevant for yourself. So in case you don't find moat in your business, try to change the business idea in a way so that you become unique in that sense. That's what is my personal opinion.
Shimon, one of the things that I can add to that is when we're looking at the mode, look at how the whether it is adaptable by the consumers in the market, right? Whether whatever product that you're building, is it relevant, and is it going to be adapted by the consumers on a larger note? Are they going to come back to you more often? Are they going to build a habit around the product that you're building? Right? I was just telling Mr. Ananta that if you're giving more personalized services, that will be something that is going to help a lot of your clients and everything. So that is how you build a habit, and that is how you build an adoption rate, right? In terms of, I think, what is that within the market, if you're targeting the niche, again, you also have to look at it. What is the other tweaks and other perks that you will be providing to your consumers, where they get into the habit of it, their their adoption rate is high, and based on that, you can build your scalable business. So that is one way to look at it, according to me.
Uh, Thanks, Purti. We have just one last question from Anant. Anant, please.
Um, Okay, this question is like for all of you three. Please guide me one thing. Spurti, as you said, like okay, you had that kind of feedback regarding I need to focus on container dimensions and all. Then that's again a different product. Amit sir, the point is like we have different products into the same industry. The product which we are making, that is from the from the C vertical, and from C vertical, that is a product like it's a FCL product actually, only dealing with containers. Now when we start gradually defining our different products, would you guys advise us to make different brands out of transit terminal, or shall we keep those products with different names under the same transit terminal umbrella? How to go ahead? I'm a bit confused on this.
No, definitely. See, in case you feel that that making a different brand can avoid a confusion amongst the consumer, then definitely you should set up a different brand, because the more brand you will create, the more expenses you will have to do. In case you feel that the same brand name can help you solving a different problem, then I believe ideally it should be the same brand only. Take an example of Amul, where there is an undergarment as well in the Amul name, and there is a dairy products as well. So, but there is no confusion at all. Means Amul is a brand, Aldiram is a brand in the same way. But sometimes the name of the brand is such which create extreme confusion. So, take an example of my portfolio company, PSafe, where they have a brand called PSafe for some products and RahoSafe for other sanitizing product. So in case there is a particular name which can confuse to the customer, and entire differentiation of the brand is extremely important, then definitely you should create a second brand. I am of the firm believer that lesser the brand you have, the lesser the cost it will have, and you will have to you can create a brand faster in case there will be a single brand rather than having a multiple brand under the single umbrella.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Spurti can give her view.
Yeah, I think I completely agree with what Amitji said. Like, since you're still building it and you're still in the product market fit stage, I think this is where you do not have to worry so much about, the brand building part of it. Just focus on one particular brand that you're building and focus on how you can, give better services and get in more consumers on board. So I think that should be the main focus going forward. If there are other services that you have added on to. There are new revenue models that you're working on. I think at that point of time, you can have that kind of a segregation and go about it that way.
Got it. Thank you, Spoorti.
So I have one question. I mean, the question is from my side, of course. See, I do see a lot of startups approaching me with incomplete documentations. The pitch deck not professionally done, lot of unrelated or maybe sometimes too much data. So, what is your take? I mean, how important is this documentations like the pitch deck or the revenue and financial model? So, how important are these documents? If the company is really doing good, are these documents still needed, or now, these are just like a stepping stones? And how would you see it, Amit ji and Spoorti ji?
So I think the documentation process is something to do with the hygiene of the company, right? How you are managing your numbers and how you're presenting it and all of that. So audited financials and following proper regulatory compliances and legal compliances are very important for for a startup, at least at the initial stages, so that there are no further issues that they would have to incur, or they shouldn't come back with new questions. So I think that if they're going for a funding process and then the DD process is being done and all of these things are not in place, then it's
So,
just,
documentation is very important.
yeah. So that is quite important. I think that before you go ahead for anything major, these hygiene things has to be in place. I think that's the way to go about, according to me, so that there are no further issues for you to work on. You can just focus on the business and raising the money rather than all of these extra regulatory compliance and everything. If you have already addressed it in the initial stages, you don't have to worry about it during the fundraise process. Your numbers are all proper. When the DD process will go very smoothly. Otherwise, that's another headache to take on, is what I feel.
Thanks, Spoorti ma'am. Amit ji, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, basically, I will bifurcate your question into the multiple parts. So it depends upon the document to document basis. Take an example. You have given one example of pitch deck. So in case there is no impressive pitch deck, I am not going to talk to any of the partner. Means that is the first point where I assess that how the startup can be. It is not necessary that it should be very attractive, but at least the important information should be captured in the investment deck. It should not be like haywire where some sales pitch has been shared with the investor and they are assuming that we will find out the ideas, etc. So there is a specific way under which the investment deck needs to be prepared. So I prefer that. In case I have requested for MIS, that should be readily available, or it should be shared with me in a reasonable time. It should not be like that I have asked for the 5 or 6 months or maybe 1 year, last 1 year data, and that data has not been shared with me in the reasonable time. Then also we lose interest. But in case like future projection or the financials which we are looking for, if we are looking for next 5-year projection, if that is not ready at the moment, the founders is taking 10-15 days to prepare it, it is still fine with me. But the unit economy should be clear with him. In case we are a discussion, he should be clear that okay, how it will make money, but he may take its own time to convert that into the Excel part. And definitely, as Spoorti mentioned, the due diligence process, we call it as a pre-due diligence, that should be in place. Take an example, if I am asking for a trademark registration, someone has a name and he said, okay, I have that, but he doesn't provide that, or the data is not readily available. Now he is talking to his consultant. His consultant is talking to IP consultant. Then, then that delay loses our interest. So
yeah, ideally, Amit ji, we have everything in place before we first prepare ourselves, and then we approach so that we don't miss out on the chances.
Correct, absolutely correct.
I think that's all. Thanks, Amit ji. Thanks, Spoorti ma'am. Thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank you.
good night.